I love you, Poppy.
Hey, yo, wavy, where you at, nigga? Yes, sir.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. I thought you'd been up there.
I ain't even on screen, bro. Good grief. You son of a bitch.
My bad. Hold on. Let's get it together.
This is Janky Productions.
Let's get it together.
Janky Trip Productions.
Hold on. Let me scoop my boots a little bit. There you go. All right.
Make room for the pretty nigga. All right, the ugly ass is on the screen.
Welcome to another episode. Hold, bro. Hey, hold on. If you don't know the buttons,
every side.
If you do not know the buttons,
switch the buttons to the other side.
Stay on. If you don't know how, this is not the time for on-the-job training.
You don't be giving no button tutorials. You want to hold all the buttons to yourself.
I mean, you want a fucking tutorial right when the show starts.
You should have waited. You just rushing into the goddamn show.
I mean, both y'all niggas is already late.
I was here on time. Correct yourself.
You got blank buttons.
It's not blank. Not blank. I turned it down because you do not know how to operate the board.
Son of a bitch.
But anyway, welcome to another episode of Straight Talk No Taste live.
Know what?
Trip Simpson in the building alongside Kirk.
No taste.
Kirkland Keys.
What the fuck is going on here?
And also Cosby Digital. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get this show on the road. I've been waiting to do this show all week. And this is no disrespect to anybody.
feel like it's gonna be a whole bunch of disrespect.
There's no disrespect, but black women, I've been waiting to talk to y'all niggas all week. So we're gonna do that today. We're gonna take this shit slow. Let me get these glasses off.
Can we add this disclaimer in the beginning?
We're gonna make this methodical.
The opinions expressed on this show are that of the user who has spoken those opinions, not of everyone on the show. The end.
We already backing out. I see what kind of show this is gonna be.
I just want to make sure everybody knows Trip's thoughts ain't my thoughts.
Trip Simpson fitting to go on y'all.
So yeah, man. Real quick, Mr. Digital, how was your week, man?
I had a great week, man. Busy week so far. A lot of client work popping up. I got on the boat a few times. Shout out to my brother Carlton. He's about to move to Arizona, man. So there's no more day on the bay. But I got my other partners, Nile Waters. We're gonna be coming to see y'all, and they got the yacht, so it's a little better. Shout out to my brother Carlton. We got this Friday, Kim and Scooby, Serious and Company at the Soul. What damn? I forgot the name of my own shit.
Soul of the City.
Yeah, Soul of the City. Music Fest. Serious and Company Experience Band. Angel Bernay, the real bearded drummer. Good Vibe Nixon, man. We got a nice lineup for y'all. 9 to 2 at Ivy City Smokehouse this Friday. And I just had a great meeting today at the Cambria. We're bringing that happy hour back to the rooftop at the Cambria Hotel every Thursday. Thursday on the Perch at the Cambria, the best rooftop hotel in the city. Better than anybody's shit. Best views in the city, hands down.
That's facts. What else you got going on?
That's about it.
Kirkland? Oh, you already went.
No, he did.
When did I go? When?
My bad.
Man, he's
when?
He's
They
labeled
try to
deep
cut
into
me
that.
off. They try to cut me off the show on the camera. Try to not even figure out what's going on with me right now.
Bro, you missed 1 week. He act like he wasn't here.
Exactly.
What's the problem?
I see the new beef gonna have to be.
It's a cold world, man.
It's gonna be me and Cohen on some shows and Norman and Cohen on some shows. I ain't gonna be on those shows a trip.
Nah, you good, man.
But nah, my week, I don't even care how my week's been. We talking about how my week's about to go. It's my birthday on Friday, June 10th. Not to be mistaken with Juneteenth. But my plan in life is to be so lit that when I pass, y'all are partying from June 10th to Juneteenth. That's my goal. In case y'all didn't know.
That's your goal.
That's my goal.
Yeah, you're a selfish person, man.
That's a noteworthy goal. I like that. Look,
Call it what you want.
Look, party when I die.
I plan on be so lit that y'all gonna want to party from the 10th to the 19th after I'm gone.
I know you're gonna look after family.
That's 9 days of partying right
we
there.
gonna
Y'all
stand
let
you
it.
up in the club like Gunu.
Exactly. I'm down.
I hear that.
Stuff you like a pinata.
Do it at the Soul of the City at Ivy City Smokehouse on Friday.
Oh, no, we can do
that's
that.
I'm gonna be so drunk that y'all gonna need to stand me
we
up.
celebrating Kurt's birthday on Friday, so all of the
Exactly.
loyal listeners, if you want to pull up and meet Kurt Keys in person, this is your chance. Come buy him a shot at his birthday party.
I know you're gonna look after family.
Yeah. What family you see ice? The fuck, I look invisible? Don't show up on Friday. You're not trying to buy me no drinks. Like, nah.
Nah, you good to
But
go.
yeah, we gonna have a good time on Friday. Pull up.
For sure. So
And I don't have a guest list.
That's important to say. So this week we had a whole lot going on in the quote unquote community. I call that motherfucker a neighborhood. Because communities are composed of different things. But there was a lot of debates going back and forth between black men and black women. One of them was the Lori Harvey and the Michael B. Jordan situation, and the other was the rapper Trouble, who was murdered. Rest in peace. Who was murdered, death by simp, by a simp ass nigga. A simp ass dusty nigga from Atlanta. What was his name? Jamichael or something like that? Jamichael White, whatever his name is, murdered the rapper Trouble because Trouble was happened to be at his baby mama or ex-girlfriend's house that he used to live in when he kicked in the door and tried to start an argument with her. But those topics led to some very interesting conversations. And one thing I'm starting to notice between black men and black women is that we're on two totally different pages.
Oh, and, yeah, we are. We definitely are.
And I'd like to make this first disclaimer right here. I'm married to a black woman, so I'm not out here. The commentary that we're doing tonight is specifically for growth reasons, and it's not to promote any type of agenda. However, myself being a black man, I think black men being the rightful leaders of the community, even though we aren't necessarily occupying those roles right now, but as the rightful leaders of the community, I think we need to ask the question of today.
Dwayne Wade said we're not the rightful leaders.
Well, should black men look elsewhere for cooperation? Now, Exhibit A. I want to get to the root of the problem.
Before you go, can I say something? You also gave the typical "I'm married to a black woman" disclaimer,
But I am married to a black woman, so I don't want people to get it twisted.
And Dave Chappelle has gay friends when he be like, "Yeah," that's what I was gonna say. They be having black friends too.
Nah, because the first thing they say is you don't like black women, you hate black women, you don't like your mama, somebody hurt you,
means
all
nothing.
That shit.
Your marriage means nothing.
Of course, to them, the truth never means anything. But let's get to the first piece of evidence. Now, I want to get to the origin of, in my opinion, what the origin of the problem is. And this is from a 1986 CBS News report that I think is very, very interesting. So we're going to watch this real quick. First off, I'd like to say fair use.
Fair use. CBS, fair use.
None of you are married.
Let me start this back. All right, and real quick, the name of this video is a CBS special report from 1986 called "The Vanishing Black Family." The Vanishing Black Family.
And what year was this?
1986.
Raise your hand if you're married. None of you are married. Raise your hand if you would like to be married to your baby's father. One. The rest of you who don't plan to get married, why don't you plan to get married?
Check that out. He asked them, how many of you are married? None of them. They all got babies. How many of you would like to be married to your baby's father? One girl raised her hand and the rest of them laughed at her, and she held her head down in embarrassment. Pay attention.
In 86.
I'd like to know that.
You already have your child to think about, and then a whole family to care for. It's a lot of responsibility, and then you don't want the commitments.
I wouldn't want no man holding me down. And
then you don't. Ladies and gentlemen, most of us, or most of anybody who'll be watching this show, is around the same age as us. 30 to 45. 1986. Millennial years, a lot of us were born around this time.
That's our mom. That's our mama and daddy.
I think I can make.
For the record, that's not my mom and dad. They were married.
It as a single parent.
Don't you think you might need help in raising that baby from a man?
Bougie.
Not really.
Bougie.
Look. You see it? Look. Let's go back.
Bruh, let the whole video play, bro.
This man went all the way back.
Raise your hand if you're married. None of you are married. Raise your hand if you would like to be married to your baby's father. One. The rest of you who don't plan to get married, why don't you plan to get married? I'd like to know that.
You already have your child to think about, and then a whole family to care for. It's a lot of responsibility, and then you don't want the commitments.
I wouldn't want no man holding me down because I think I can make it as a single parent.
But don't you think you might need raising that baby from a man?
Not really. I didn't have a father. My father wasn't in the home, so it really, male figures not substantially important in the family.
Was this in D.C.?
Newark, New Jersey.
So freely because they were not embraced so widely. The strong family was still the backbone of Black America, and 3 out of 4 children had both parents at home. That is true no longer. Most Black children are now growing up without their fathers. The result is a world turned upside down as children copy what they see and repeat what they learn. LaDawn said she didn't have a father in her home and doesn't think her children need one. She's not unusual. Half the Black families today are headed only by a woman. Clorinda said she could make it on her own as a...
Peep what he said. Half the Black families today are headed by a woman. That was in 1986. Now it's over 80%.
Single parent. She has never been married and is raising her daughter without a man's help. She's not unusual. Today, nearly 60% of all Black children are born out of wedlock.
Today, that number's 80.
Timothy said his children are not his responsibility. He has left them to be supported by their mothers and welfare. He's not unusual either.
All right. Let's get back.
I think it should be noted that he's not unusual either, but we never be talking about these niggas. We love talking about these women.
Well, actually, I mean...
I know you talk about both. I'm fucking with you.
But this video goes on, and basically, when they interviewed him, he was basically like, well, you know, these women don't like condoms, you know, but my child's mother basically said she didn't need me. She said she just wanted the kid for welfare. You got to remember, welfare was fresh back then, at this time period. And everybody thought this was a godsend, or at least that's what I'm thinking. I mean, I don't know what they thought back then, but they must have, because everybody hopped on it.
I mean, if you instill something like that in a community that's super impoverished, you talking about the New Jersey, the New York, those communities, like, they were super impoverished. And the funny part is, I had a conversation.
But it wasn't just New Jersey, New York. Back then, it was 60%.
No, I'm just speaking on this particular, because that was the community that they came from. Like Newark is one of the poorest, you know, communities, you know, in terms of Black cities. I was talking to my Uber driver about this going over there, because I was like, man, I got a podcast. Ooh, I'm on the way there, and I'm like, we're talking about women's issues, and it should the Black man start looking elsewhere. He's like, man, I love my Black women, but I feel like they don't respect me, and I feel like I don't know where it went wrong, and I feel like it's been purposely done to turn the Black woman against the Black man. And I explained this exact scenario, that in the 1980s there was a program put in place called welfare.
But actually, it started in the 60s, the late 60s. Yes, but you started seeing the ramifications of it in the 80s. So to be historically accurate, instituted in the late 60s, proliferate in the 70s. Our generation saw the terrible effects of it in the 80s. But you come into an impoverished community, you give them the option of keeping your family nucleus together, i.e. keeping the man in the home, or putting your man out to receive government assistance, basically replacing that Black man with white daddy. You know, that white daddy's taking care of the family. Your baby father or your husband ain't taking care of the family no more. And this happened at the same time where they started marginalizing and pushing the Black man out of the workforce, with dealing with unions, dealing with access to different type of jobs and shit, and coinciding with the war on drugs. You economically castrated the Black man, locked him up at a disproportionate rate than any other race of men. So all of a sudden, all of these men are off of the street or financially, economically castrated, and you leave the women the choice of deal with a nigga that, you know, can't take care of me, but I can keep my family, or take this government check. It's a fucked up, nefarious plan that worked to perfection. To me, I think that's an excuse, though. because it's an excuse. It's an excuse. It's an excuse for poor sexual choices.
I think it's both.
You didn't. So first of all, I'm a big proponent of marry before you carry. Straight up, you marry before you carry. You get rid of most problems that come with being a single parent. Period. Whether you're a single father or a single mother, but marry before you carry knocks most of these issues out. Now, it's not perfect. There are going to be some issues along the way, but if you go back to that standard, you knock most of that problem out the way. See, the problem lies within the choices, in my opinion, that black women took back then. Because not only did they take welfare, right? The other thing they took was after black men died in the streets for their community, young black men, 29, 31, 33 years old, Martin, Malcolm, fucking Fred Hampton, all of these niggas, even my man, light-skinned brother, Black Panther, that went to jail for Huey P. Newton, right? All of these niggas was out there doing all this shit, fighting for black liberation. We finally turn a corner, and then the women choose feminism. And not only did they choose feminism, they also choose welfare. Family obliterated.
But the problem is with that, white supremacy evolves. Different iterations, from slavery to black codes to Jim Crow to the welfare system, mass incarceration, redlining, to what we have at this present day. We gained something, but guess what? The enemy is gonna be like, all right, we took a L. How do we go back and fix this?
So
right?
cool.
So they realized after World War II, after Vietnam, you had black men coming back to the community with money from being in the military, leadership skills, and they were building families, building communities that, like you talked about, right? So they had to devise a way. How do we break up these communities? All right, how do we incarcerate the warrior class of the black man? Because guess what? The one that's gonna get out on the corner, the one that's gonna risk his life, the one that's gonna do whatever to take care of his family. Back in the day, he would be considered in the warrior class. So like, how do we get them dudes out of the way? All right, mass incarceration. We gonna get them out of here. So for the regular dudes who just getting along, trying to take care of their family, whatever, how do we get some of them out of there? All right, we got to do welfare, right? Because they could have did welfare and not excluded the man from the home. If you look back on that policy, why include that? It's no logical reason. There's no logical reason to include that.
I wholeheartely agree with that, right? Yeah. But at what point do you say, okay, we know we're being tricked?
They didn't know they was being tricked.
At what point didn't they know?
So this is just, so let's rewind to 1970 and 1980.
I mean, no. So
you have hold on. You have three media.
Hold on, bro.
I like where we're going with this. Yeah. This is getting important.
There is no internet.
Hold on. Real quick.
To do
real
research.
quick. I'm gonna give you a chance to answer that, right? Before we veer off into the abyss.
No, this is not the abyss. This is central to your argument.
First of all, I haven't even made my argument yet.
Yeah, you did.
No, I'm not. I'm just playing clips.
You said poor sexual choices. You said,
but I was answering the question that you posed.
I didn't pose a question to that.
You did. Now, I'm not blaming. So let me say this first. My goal here is not to blame this completely on one side. I'm just showing you where the problem is and where the problem was then and where the problem still is now. Because I agree with everything you're saying about, how white supremacists set everything up and yada, yada. I'm telling you that. But we're trying to tell them that to this day, and they still don't listen.
Hey, there's no accountability.
So that's what I'm building up to. So we've seen the start, the breaking up of the black families. The women are saying they don't need a man. 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 Here we are, 30-something odd years later, and where are we at now? This is the result.
Housing security in the U.S. since the pandemic is on track to become a crisis, and black women are being affected the most by it. According to Eviction Lab, there were more than 434,000 evictions last year. So for some context to this, the eviction moratorium was in place for a large portion of the year, but the number of renters at risk of eviction as of January spiked to about 3 million and counting. And of those, Black women have the highest average of eviction filed against them. At 6.2%, compared to white women at 3.4%. Now that equates to 1 in 4 Black renters living in a place where Black eviction filing rates were almost double than that of their white counterparts.
Now, let's go back here, just for references.
Raise your hand if you're married. None of you are married. Raise your hand if you would like to be married to your baby's father. 1. The rest of you who don't plan to get married, why don't you plan to get married? I'd like to know that.
You already have your child to think about, and then a whole family to.
Got your child to think about and the whole family. You made it seem like adding
So
a
joining
husband.
us now is Akira at
and doing what it takes
6.2%
to maintain
compared to
that.
average of
But
eviction
we're using
filed
a
against them.
17-year-old, 16-year-old as a reference for sound judgment and understanding. That's a little
Bro, these are the same women that are out here now,
so what I'm saying is
50, 60 years old,
yeah.
50 and 60 years old, advising the even more single women that are out here right now. So not only, it was bad back then, bro, it's bad right now.
Nah, I agree with you. I saw a post today on Facebook, and the chick was like, it was under the Lori Harvey and Michael B. Jordan comment section. She was like, "Oh, I tell my daughter not to get married all the time. Stay away from marriage. Don't get locked down." So I recognize that those particular women have grown up, matured, had babies, and further that same ideology. My thing is, I want to promote like the flip side of that. Like, okay, yeah, this is the predicament y'all in. Let's educate them. This is why you here. But the only way to get out of this situation, that you do have to start getting married. You do have to sacrifice what you think is your quote unquote fun or free years or all of these things that you've been sold that you have access to build the family, rebuild the Black community. Like,
But how long are we gonna have to keep saying this? Because the more we say it, the more we get buck back, the more we get arguments, the more we get condescending conversations, the more we get women trying to climax the conversation.
it matters, are you a soldier in this shit or are you like a commentator, right? Because you got to keep.
But it gets to the point where are you a soldier or are you just about to go down with the Titanic?
You got to fight. I think you got to continue to fight the good fight. I think I always say all the time, this platform that we operate is one of the mechanisms that helps that, because Black women have been in the echo chamber for the last 20 years that's been telling them that they don't need a man, that they are
everything they do is
on
right.
Their own. Like, everything they do is right. They are the prize. They are all of these things, but then they get into these situations and find out when you don't have a family, when you don't have a man, when you don't have that structure, that protection, that love, that life ain't really like as rosy as you think it. You make it to the top of your job, but you don't got kids. You don't have a husband. And you don't have anybody to share the success with. Because at a certain point, I've seen it so much in my friends that have gotten married, and I've seen the ones who have not or do not have significant relationships. Those maternal instincts kick in, and they start getting sad. They start getting depressed. It's fucking with them, because internally they know what they should be and what they really value, but this country has tricked them into perceiving a value in other ways.
But
not just saying that they can't attain those things.
It's twofold because not only are the ones who aren't married without kids, who are getting older and now want them, the ones who decided to carry before they marry too many times, You know what I mean? The ones who decided to carry before they married.
That's actually a good interruption. We did not tell people they can call in today. And that was supposed to be one of the main things. We're supposed to have people calling in. So let's divert real quick. Where's the link for tapping in?
It's in the description, bro. It's in the description.
We didn't tell them.
Well, I mean, if they clicked on the show, they can see it. But anyway, yes, he's right. The link is in the description. If you want to call in, click the link. We'll get you on in here.
He like, hell, fuck that shit. I'm on one.
I'm not telling them this shit. I'm not telling them how to call in.
You don't want to share your platform today?
Nah, I mean, as soon as we finish getting all our points out, we'll take calls. That's fine.
You gotta let them know because it was 10 people on the live just now.
Oh, you right. You got it.
Yeah,
Tell them know.
Look, hey y'all.
Who we got? Nobody yet.
When y'all ready to call in, it's via Zoom, first of all. So if you're on your cell phone, it's gonna bring up your Zoom app. If you're on a computer, it's gonna click on it and it's gonna bring up your Zoom app, and you're gonna be able to be live. You can be on camera or off camera, whichever one you choose. But we're going live
for sure. So yeah, I mean, it all boils down to just choices, man. And I feel like, and this will bring us into our next point. I feel like black women don't feel like they need to compete. They say they want the top men, but they don't want to compete. And that goes to our next fucking topic, which is the Michael B. Jordan, Lori Harvey situation. Michael B. Jordan, no homo, is the top. Is the best black actor in the world.
Oh, is he?
At this point.
Okay.
Right?
He's the next Will Smith, basically.
The man, was voted in a magazine that I had nothing to do with. He was actually voted.
You 38 years old. You don't got to say pause multiple times.
I mean, you know how this show is.
You're married with children, man.
Gotcha, bitch. he didn't know what that button was.
Hold up.
Gotcha, bitch.
It was perfect.
But he was voted the sexiest man alive. If he can't get, gotcha, bitch. If he can't get a black woman to cooperate, what hope is there for the future? Now, I do have some interesting articles I'd like to bring up pertaining to this particular situation, and we'll start with this one. All right, from none other than
Michael B. Jordan.
The Root. Michael, I'm not gonna say that. Michael B. Jordan attempts to use milk analogy to explain his love for black women. Written by Danielle Young. Oh, Danielle. I thought that said Daniel. Danielle Young. Okay, so this is a woman, we think. Gotcha, bitch. Bro, learn the fucking buttons, man.
That was a good one. He switched the buttons to say that was the one with.
Gotcha, bitch.
That's the one he was looking for.
Says, we love Michael B. Jordan. He's a dreamy man with a face you want to squeeze, but also lick. But his dating habits have left a lot of people to be desired. By black women.
Nope, not people.
Have left a lot of people.
A lot. Stop saying people.
A lot to be desired by black women. Michael B. usually canoodles with the likes of Becky and Karen, and many black women are upset, mostly because they think they deserve Michael B. Jordan. We do, she says. Listen, I couldn't care less who a man dates unless that man is Idris Elba or Michael B. Jordan. Most recently, Bay Jordan has been reportedly dating Instagram model, someone I had to Google. Oh, look at the shade and the hate. Ashlyn Castro. The gorgeous gal has been getting a lot of shade because of her shade of melanin. Then there are images of Jordan floating around on a jet ski with another Becky, and of course, women went in on the comments. Blah, blah, blah. Bunch of black women complaining. This is an article by The Root. Let's go to the next article. There are calls to boycott Black Panther because Michael B. Jordan is reportedly dating white women. Should I even read the rest of this article?
Look,
Hold on,
I know. I just find it ironic that you're quoting The Root and News One as
because News One and The Root are the main fucking culprits. They're the main ones brainwashing these hoes. They're the main ones.
Okay.
This is New One. I'm not even gonna read this. I'm just gonna read
the other joint?
The headline.
Very Smart Brothers or something like that.
Yeah.
Women love quoting Very Smart Brothers.
Now we're gonna go back to The Root.
They all one company. They all one
company.
company.
I know.
The Griot, all that shit.
All that they one company.
Now we're going back to The Root. Now we're going to 2022. Lori Harvey's latest breakup has the internet in shambles. She owes y'all nothing. Before I read this fucking article, you hoes, and I definitely mean hoes, were just complaining 2 years ago about Michael B. Jordan not dating black women. He dates a black woman, one of y'all favorite ones who happens to be a whore, but y'all think whoring is okay. So he went on a limb. He tried to do the right thing. He tried to save one of you black hoes, or one of the black hoes that y'all admire because she's sexually liberated. He dated her for a year and a half, allegedly offered to marry her, and she turned him down.
Gotcha, bitch.
Now we don't know if that was the case or not because it's all speculation, right? But what is the most interesting part about this situation is the conversation that is sparked on the internet. To see all these bitches that was mad at Michael B. Jordan for dating white women.
Going in tonight.
He stoops down to your fucking.
My disclaimer.
He stoops down to your fucking level and dates one of your favorite hoes. Gets himself played. And what do y'all give him in return? Oh well.
Your ass to kiss.
Right. Dude, at this point, black men, listen to me. Let me take this shit off the screen. Let me take this fucking shit off the screen. Black men, listen to me. Now, like I said, I'm married to a black woman, so I'm not out here advocating against
I have black friends,
quote unquote black love. But guess what? That shit's pretty much dead. A friend of mine the other day was asking me, hey man, I like how you and your wife got it, blah, blah, blah. How can I find a situation like that? I said, look, bro. I said, if you would have come to me and asked me how to make some money, I wouldn't tell you to go to the liquor store and play the lottery.
Oh, you a foul nigga, B.
I wouldn't do it.
Gotcha, bitch.
I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't tell you to go to the liquor store and play the lottery. Just like I'm not going to tell you to go out to the dating market and try to find a black woman that's going to be on your page and cooperate with you.
You're a foul nigga, B.
They don't. They are very few and far between. And to be honest with you, if you got your money together and your shit right and your passport together, is a big world full of women that would love a successful black man.
Now that is a fact.
And guess what? They can talk all the shit in the world about you. You come with a snow bunny, Hispanic, Asian, whatever you want to get, right? Or even a foreign black, even though a lot of them is fucked up too. But whatever he wants to do, if he stops dealing with you, you have nobody to blame but yourselves. You have nobody to blame but yourselves. Because your lack of accountability and your constant vitriol towards us has put us to this point. But it all starts back to that clip from 1986. Because those the hoes that y'all learning from. Anybody else got something?
Kurt, you want to follow that up or?
He's giving us a chance to speak. Oh,
I'm on my Cohen Cosby shit today.
Oh,
yeah, you did. You laid out a detailed argument. It was foul as shit, but it was cool.
Gotcha, bitch.
Kurt, you want to take this one or should I?
I'm gonna let you take it. I just want to say that this is why I added my.
You gonna let him take it?
That nigga gay, nigga gay, nigga gay, nigga gay, nigga gay.
got it.
Anyway,
Ladies and gentlemen, he's gonna be reckless on the buttons for the rest of the evening. I see this how this is gonna play out. First of all, shout out to everybody who's on the live. Shout out to everybody who's listening. I rock with all of y'all. This was a very hot topic this week. One, it lets me know how far the real news media has devolved, because I saw this on CNN, I saw this on Fox News, I saw this on the local news, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, the news has became the internet, and we go to the internet for real information. So that was just eye-opening to me, number one. Two, I realized if in our community, I'm talking about black people, a black woman celebrity, right or wrong, black women are gonna ride for them. They're gonna ride for them hard. And I was like, whoa, this is an experiment to see. Doesn't matter what happens, they're gonna ride. So I put out a topic today on my little social media. I was like, are we gonna talk about how Lori Harvey wasted Michael B. Jordan's time?
Let's cook.
Because we've talked about ad nauseum how black men waste women's time dating multiple women, doing the things they say we do. Now, mind you, the numbers are in our favor, so sometimes you have to date multiple women to figure out where you are, what you need to do.
Gotcha, bitch.
to figure out where you are, right? And we've talked ad nauseum about that. But when the situation is in reverse, it was crickets. It was so quiet. What they say, you can hear an ant pissing on a cotton ball.
Yeah.
It was quiet. And it let me know something. There is a serious lack of accountability with our counterparts, right? Just like you give your disclaimer, you're married to a black woman. My girlfriend is the most beautiful chocolatest black woman you can ever see in the world. So it's not, I have an issue with black women in general. I'm super attracted to black women. I want black babies with locks and African Center schools, all that great stuff. But you gotta talk, but you gotta understand. We got is that breaking news?
Nah, just read it.
Hold on, what is this? Lori woke up and realized that her and her mother got the same taste in men.
That mustache.
Them niggas look like father. Oh man,
that nigga mustache.
It was a Steve. Damn, them niggas do look alike. Yeah. God damn.
You would have to see the picture.
Look at that. Y'all gotta see this shit. The side by side picture of Steve Harvey and Michael B. Y'all probably can't see that.
Oh, that's definitely a good close up right there. It's just a mustache, man.
Yeah, the mustache.
They both got that motherfucking porno stash. Damn, I done lost my whole train of thought.
My bad.
Anyway, so no, I gave the disclaimer, like I have the most beautiful chocolate black woman that I'm gonna
kids
marry.
with dreads,
you
all
know
that
what I'm
shit.
saying? I want all that. But I also recognize that black women have been catered to in terms of the marketing, the messaging, letting them know that they have this specific autonomy and freedom and ability to do whatever they want to do with really no consequences, right? It struck me very, like, it really struck me with how many people commented, well, she's only 25. She got time. She can figure it out in her 30s. I seen like 20 comments like, oh, she's young. She's super young. Like if she was 16, if she was 18, if she was 21, she was 23, she was 24, she's 25. Technically, she's in her mid 20s.
Bro,
next year she'll be in her late 20s. And if we go back to when black people actually thrived as a community, we're talking right after, we talking World War II, we're talking Vietnam, we're talking up until basically the 70s, right? People were getting married at 25. You have a husband, you have a family. And now we have this narrative that, oh man, you could just play your whole 20s and into your 30s and just magically, you know, you're gonna pop up, you're gonna be all right. And especially these women are trying to apply that standing to Lori Harvey. I'm gonna tell y'all one thing. Lori Harvey is different. Number
Because she looks better than 99% of y'all.
Number one, she's a 10. So
I wouldn't call her a 10 because she got surgery and shit. So
don't matter. It's bad. Let's see 8. Well, for the sake of Trip Simpson's argument,
I give her an 8.
Let's give her an 8. At 25, at 30 something, she's still gonna be 7 to 8 range, especially if she don't have children.
Oh yeah,
yeah, because she work out. You know what I'm saying? She eat right. She on the Hollywood shit. She's gonna look great.
Yo, you know what else is funny? Yeah. They was just bashing her for talking about eating right.
Yeah,
y'all insane, man.
You can't compare. You cannot compare your life and standards to Lori Harvey. Number one, how she looks. What's her sexual marketplace value?
And they were all doing that.
Yeah,
they were all doing that.
That shit's super high.
They were all comparing themselves to her.
2, she's already rich.
Sort of.
No, she's.
Steve Harvey's her stepdaddy. I mean, I don't. Her mother had been through a couple.
No, I'm talking about. I don't know if you're familiar with her business ventures, what she does.
Oh yeah. Well, I know
how she parlayed her name, likeness, and fame. She's already rich, so technically she doesn't need a man. Just like y'all need men, because when we get down to it, if you're in Jackson, Mississippi, and you got a retail job where you only make $35,000, you can't compare yourself or comment or even think you're in the same bracket as Lori Harvey. She's gonna be a multi-millionaire.
Facts.
So don't get on the program of a multi-millionaire that's able to date and move and do, because ultimately, let's say they cast her to the wayside, right? She's gonna be okay because she has her own money
to fall back on.
Yeah, she can buy her own security, buy her protect, like whatever. And her dad is
most of you hoes are gonna be homeless by the time y'all 60 without no man.
You're gonna be fucked up. So
if your son don't amount himself to nothing, you gonna be homeless.
That's another thing. So don't compare yourself to that situation. And 3.
Is that your third
You
point?
only have.
Does he really have a third point?
I don't know.
Were you at 2?
I don't know.
He was more at 5.
But I'm gonna roll with it.
Let's go.
And
Gotcha, bitch.
I'm gonna roll with it. And 3.
I swear my father used to do that.
It might be 0.001% of you that can pass up a marriage proposal from Michael B. Jordan. 0.0001% of you. Because if we listen to you to say what you really want, right? You say you want an educated man, got that. You say you want a good looking man, got that. You say you want a man with money, got that. You say you want a man with status, got that. Right? Most of y'all can't even get in the same room as him. Like Mike, like
I know you're gonna look after family.
You can't even get in the same room as him. You can't even get in the same room as a man like Michael B. Jordan. And you're holding on to this ideal or this fantasy or fairy tale that a man like Michael B. Jordan is going to come and rescue you. Ladies, a man that works that hard to get to that position, if you're not in Lori Harvey status or in that realm, they don't even see you. They're not checking for you. They're not coming. They're not coming to rescue you. So you need to look around and make an evaluation. Who am I? What are my options?
They don't do that. See,
where can I find love on the level and plane that I should be on?
Kevin Samuels is trying to instruct them to do stuff
so
like that.
Ladies, find that.
Kirk, I want to get you, because before I go off again, I definitely want to hear what you have to say.
I don't want to make it seem like you're not saying anything this whole show. So go ahead and say something so I can go rant on some more.
No, I mean, you know.
That's real. I think it's confusing and
Kirk's
weird.
the type of nigga that don't want to jump in a double dutch joint.
Yeah, you know, I'm
like,
gonna talk when it's ready for me to talk.
I can see if it was one rope, but it's 2 ropes.
I ain't got time for that shit. I don't know how to
Gotcha, bitch.
But I think for one, it surprises me why people even care about celebrity couples. And I'm not talking about like people care like us. I mean, like the fact that it's this big noteworthy news is trippy to me because when couples get together that are celebrities, I typically expect them to break up. It's just a matter of when. This joint lasted a year. It's like
year and a half.
You get to date, you get to see. All right, I experienced this person. They cool, they dope, but we ain't doing nothing. We're not going to settle down and get married. So you might as well stop wasting time. Somebody always has that decision to make, and whether it's the man or the woman, somebody's gonna make it. It's just women are the ones making that decision now, and it's a little bit weird. Well, so it's throwing people off.
The funny part is that really, when it comes to Lori Harvey and Michael B. Jordan, I get it. Like, yeah, the part that got me, and shout out to Juice Man Dan. I wish I had a button for symmetry on here, but I don't.
He thought through all the buttons.
We
Yeah,
have
you
to,
should
we
have seen
have
his
to, get
finger
that, we have to
moving.
put that Project Pat sound on that.
Oh yeah.
Don't save her.
I mean, like,
She
so
don't wanna be
and
saved.
you know that's
You
how
should really just start the beginning of the song. Like, just
my
get
dog.
the little.
That's the dog.
I bought the nigga by my house. Let me fuck my bedroom. I'm gonna kill him when he get off work tonight, though.
I love her, man. I love her.
Shout out to Juice Man. He got mad because we were talking about it, and I'm like, I was trying to tell him, like, dude, this is not about celebrity gossip. This is about the response to it and the answers that I'm seeing from black women. And I'm just like, dude, do you guys understand that you're in last place? Let me turn this music down. Do you guys understand that you're in last place? You know what? Let me talk nice to y'all. Ladies, do you understand that you're in last place? You can't be a loser at the game and expect all the spoils of the victor. Black women. Black women. You need men. All right. Let me stop being silly, man.
Oh nah, you in your bag right now.
I couldn't wait to
bag right now.
I couldn't wait to break the Moesha joint
The way
out.
Moesha ends the show, that really should be our final thoughts. That should be our final thought music.
No, that should be the final. Yo,
Every
that
time
shit
we
should
find-
be
that
the
should be our
final thoughts
music.
music, bro.
So I was sitting with Illuminorman and Cohen today.
Right. But now,
And
ladies,
I couldn't believe the stuff that Norman was saying.
black women, I love y'all to death, man. But y'all got to get it together. Not all black women. I'm not talking about all. Christ. But you know what? No, I am talking about all. Because even the good ones, they won't step in and say, nah, she's wrong. It's like they all got this, they like dolphins, man. They all on the same frequency, man.
They gotta stick together, man.
But they're all sticking together to go down.
I agree with that.
They all sticking together on the same sinking ship. And that's what I don't get. Which brings us to another motherfucking story.
Look,
Jesus Christ, dog.
once again, make sure if you see the link to call in, anybody wants to call in right now, y'all could call
Give
in.
me 1 second. I gotta tell this person to stop freaking calling me.
She probably watching the show. She think that's the call line.
No, this person is definitely not watching the show. But anyway, so let's get to this next story. We're gonna get into this story about the rapper Trouble from ATL. May he rest in peace. There's been also a lot of controversy about that subject. Now, I posted something on my Facebook yesterday about it, and I basically said, fellas, death by simp is a horrible way to go out. And I said, stop getting yourself killed or putting yourself in dangerous situations over ratchet pussy. So, I got a whole bunch of kickback from the women because they asked me why I would say that this chick is ratchet.
So I got a lot to say on this one. Mainly because I saw your comments and I didn't understand why people were mad at you for your comment. You basically said Trouble was killed by a simp. You was going on the simp.
Right.
Everybody got mad like you went on the woman because, I mean, you did call her ratchet pussy, but
she's ratchet. She's ratchet.
Neither here. Why did you even feel the need to defend that? Because that's so much of a irrelevant point to the topic. The point was this man got killed by a simp. And everybody wanted to just hone in on the.
And then they brought Kevin Samuels
into it. Why she gotta be
it.
ratchet? Blah blah blah. And they did bring.
They brought Kevin Samuels. Well, Kevin Samuels
died
from messing with a ratchet, and I'm down that rabbit hole. I'm like, well, he's not a ratchet.
Those are two complete.
She wasn't a ratchet. She was a beautiful woman.
He was he in a hotel or in his home?
He was in his $8,500 a month
home. Right.
House.
He was in his own home.
Died in a bad bitch.
And met a woman and invited that woman over. Versus Trouble being at that woman's home.
Yeah, laid up with a ratchet bitch.
With whether she ratchet or not, I don't necessarily. I mean, Norman knows a little bit about her. I don't know a little bit about her. Whatever. But whether she's ratchet or not is neither here nor there. The point is, he went to her home where she has a boyfriend, maybe an ex-boyfriend, as of like a week ago, because it looked like they had just broke up or something. And that man actually lived with her prior to.
Yes, he did.
No, he was actually still living there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So all he did was come home.
This is the bitch.
They also are saying, hold on. They also are saying that the dude did break into the home. Like maybe he didn't have a key anymore or whatever. So there was forced entry. But it was probably forced entry because he was trying to come back to his home, get his stuff or whatever the case may be.
That was probably
and
one
she
of them,
wasn't letting them in.
That was probably one of them apartment complex that had the little latch lock on some extra shit.
Yeah.
He probably just like, bitch,
and he was like,
talking about?
He kicked that. He duck kicked that motherfucker right in it, right through.
So when it's all said and done, though, she was cheating on you, bruh. You gonna go shoot that man? He ain't got nothing to do with.
He ain't got a goddamn thing to do
You
with
killed that man all because he was sleeping with your girl who had just dumped you because you was beating on her. So sounds like a ratchet story to me.
They try
you
to
gotta call a spade a spade.
Bro, this her. This her. They try to say she wasn't ratchet. This her.
Bitch, I'm a man eater. I'm not Kenny, your man eater.
I don't think we can judge people about music.
Oh shit.
Fair use.
Is Drake ratchet?
Fair use.
Fair
Kendrick
use.
ratchet?
Fair use.
That's the bitch.
Bitch, I'm a man eater. I'm not Kenny, your man eater.
Bitch, I'm a man eater.
He picked that exact bar on purpose too. He wanted.
He did.
That's what they got on
was the lead
Instagram.
bar, and he
What was the name of the song?
I don't know.
Oh,
Man
shit.
Eater.
That was a setup.
All right.
So is Nelly Furtado ratchet?
Probably. Who the fuck is that?
I'm a man eater.
Yeah.
It's on record. Chip Simpson doesn't know who Nelly Furtado
Now look.
How do
is.
you not know who Nelly Furtado is?
Let's read the police. Let's read the report.
Nah, that's important because that's what I was gonna do. Read the fucking police report.
Because it was
the same thing Trip said.
Look,
She was ratchet.
probable cause on June 5th. Nah, should I play the Brandy music? Nah, I ain't gonna do that. On June 5th, 2022.
That would be pretty petty if you.
I responded to a homicide investigation at 13207 St. James Drive, Conyers, Georgia. I was informed by dispatch that the door to the apartment was forced open and that a male was shot in the chest and that the male victim was dead. Upon arrival to the scene, I spoke with blank blank and she stated that she and Mr. Mariel or Trouble were asleep in her bed in her bedroom. She stated that she woke up to her ex-boyfriend, Mr. Jamichael. Let's pause right there. Fellas, when you start dealing with a woman and she has a baby daddy, ask her what her baby daddy's name is. If he had one of them made up names, if he got a made up name,
all names are made up. Actually,
nah, but like you know what I mean by made up name.
who the fuck made up Norman?
Somebody in France. That should mean. No, if you got you know what I mean. One of made up names, Jamichael. If Jamichael,
don't disrespect your culture, man.
Jamichael Lamarcus,
Gervonta's gonna beat the shit out of you.
Ladavius. If her boyfriend is named any of them, I mean, I hate to say, I gotta know a lot of good niggas named Deontay, Rico. That's the main one. If she fucking with a nigga named Rico, you gonna die.
Or go to jail.
You gonna die. Rico is coming after your ass.
I can't stand
And especially if he's not Hispanic.
Can't stand you.
If it's a nigga named Rico, oh, you done. Rico's gonna get you. Anyway, where's Mr. Jamichael Jones punching her in the face? She stated that Mr. Jones then began fighting with Mr. Mario Orr, and she stated that she began to help Mr. Orr when Mr. Jones pulled out a handgun and shot Mr. Orr and left the scene.
You're like, oh, bitch, you gonna help me?
Blank stated that she and Mr. Jones broke up because approximately a week ago, she and Mr. Jones were in her vehicle somewhere in Clayton County, Georgia. Blank explained that she and Mr. Jones were arguing with each other about him not having a job and not helping her pay the bills. Blank stated that Mr. Jones punched her in the nose. Blank also stated that she then called 911, and when she called 911, Mr. Jones got out of the vehicle and fled the scene. Blank stated that she did not stay to file a police report because Mr. Jones fled the scene. That's not a good excuse. Blank stated that she had not seen Mr. Jones since that incident and that he had not been back home since the incident. My motherfucking God. My niggas, stop fucking with these ratchet ass bitches. Please. Look at the type of shit. She literally got into a physical altercation with a nigga she probably knew was dangerous a week prior, hadn't seen or heard from him. The nigga was living there. She got him over the house, probably for some protection that she didn't tell him he was about to be, and now he's dead.
Nigga named Trouble.
And that's the thing.
Yeah.
Trouble probably didn't know that that's the situation she was in, but he has to be more cognizant of.
He can't be.
Damn, Shorty, last time we talked, you had a whole dude to live with you.
She probably never told him that.
Yeah, now that's true.
If he would have known that, I'm pretty sure he would have never showed up.
Yeah.
But they don't say nothing. They just got you, bro.
But it goes back to what you're saying. Like, certain women bring certain consequences to your life, right? You can pick a good woman. They can elevate you. She going make sure you're on point. Make sure you groom well. Make sure you wake up for work on time. Make sure you go to the gym. It's that type of woman, right? Then you got the type of woman who's just along for a good time and a good ride, right? She see this man, he popping. He a popular rapper. He got access. So she probably, use him for that. Knowing she has this whole domestic situation she hasn't dealt with. It's one key thing in that police report that we really have to discuss. The man was living there
for 3 years.
So technically, if you, just because he punched you in the face doesn't mean he broke the lease. You need at least 30 days to kick somebody out of the house.
He broke your nose.
Yeah, he broke your nose, not the lease. So for her to have another man in court, and it wasn't the swankiest apartment, so most likely that was their bed. So for her to have another man in their bed,
he lost it.
That's some because we don't know the backstory, right? I'm all for believing women, but I'm not. I don't believe shit women say these days. Shout out to Amber Heard.
Relax. Gotcha, bitch.
Relax. I mean, I'm all for believing women, but I'm also all for letting the whole investigation play out. She says they were arguing over him, not having a job. But what do we know about this situation? He could have carried that whole relationship for 4 to 5 years and then lost his job because of the pandemic, and he's having problems getting work. And then your woman comes antagonizing you about you don't have a job, and you be like, oh, I carried you for 4 years, 5 years, and now you're talking about what I don't have.
She probably kicked him out because she got that nigga number and was like,
probably supported her music career. And now she's arguing with him like, oh, you ain't bringing no money in now. But I'm like, because we all within the manosphere of men, we know women like that you help them get on, and once they get on, they start acting different after you put your blood, sweat, and tears to help them get on. And it's very condescending, it's very disrespectful. They start talking about what you're not doing for them when you actually put them in position.
Say that again.
So we know women that you put time in and energy in to get them in a position.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on. Go ahead.
You put time in, you put energy in to get them in a position, whether it's a regular job, whether it's the music industry, wherever. Like, because as men, we like to build our women up. So we put our blood, sweat, and tears into building up a woman. And once they reach that status and once they get the goal, they start acting different. It's like, what have you done for me lately? But would you be in that position without us? And I feel like homeboy might be feeling that same type of energy if they're living together. Most likely homeboy just became unemployed. She wouldn't have moved the dude into her house, or they wouldn't have moved together if he was unemployed and she was employed. And she raps, so that's not even a real job. So most likely he was paying the paying the bills before.
You may be
then.
hitting on something though, because I don't know how true this is, but like from all the like major blogs I saw covering the story, there were people saying that this guy Jamichael used to be with the guy Slim Dunk that used to be with Gucci. They got killed.
Yeah.
So maybe he did create some type of lane. If that's the guy.
I'm gonna be honest. From being in the music industry, it's very few women that break through without the assistance of a man.
Yeah.
It's extremely rare. You gotta be like Whitney Houston, you gotta be super talented.
Well, if you're a singer, you can, but
rapper, like all the chicks can rap. If you don't got no cosign, bro, you're not getting in the industry. You look at Nicki Minaj, you look at Remy Ma, you look at whatever you want to say, the top rap. Even if you go conscious, like
I know what you're talking about.
That's how low.
The girl from North Carolina.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But you gotta have a cosign by a man and some work to get into the rap industry. So
Rhapsody.
Yeah,
Rhapsody, yeah, that's it.
You know what I'm saying? So like you have to have, like, she got the Kendrick cosign. So you have to have, unfortunately for them, you have to have a man cosign you, really, especially in this day and age, sir, to reach that type of level. So he probably put blood, sweat, and tears in her career and to get her to the point, and then she, like, you know, clowning him for not having a job. He shouldn't have punched her. Like, I'm definitely not advocating any violence against women.
Allegedly punched her.
Yeah, that's allegedly. If he did that, he shouldn't have done that. He definitely shouldn't have done that. But at the same time, she should not have another man in a place,
in the bed,
in their bed.
And that's respect for both men. That's respect for both men. You know what I mean? Like,
that's the type of thing to get someone killed.
Yeah, and it got him killed. But like, and my major gripe was that with that situation is all the women were taking all the responsibility off the woman.
Yeah, because it's her house. Like, you don't bring, if you're still in a relationship, you don't bring, this nigga Jordans is still up in the fucking the closet. You know what I'm saying? Because if he ain't been there 5 days, he still lived there.
They will not hold another woman accountable to save their fucking life.
Because guess what?
Unless she says work out and eat right. Then it's like, how could you say that? Blah, 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 blah.
Because guess what? She would have used that against the man later on. Like, yeah, trouble was over here after you. You know what I'm saying? It's certain women that do stuff like the fact that she would let him spend the night lets me know something about her. And I know some women are gonna have some pushback about that, but if you haven't ended your tumultuous situation and you let another man, especially a high profile dude, spend the night over your house, you have an agenda. Flat out.
Man, listen. I got something I want to play for y'all real quick. Speaking of accountability.
Uh-oh. I feel like it's about to go left. What you got over here?
I want to play something real quick.
Oh, shit.
This shit is fucking hilarious. Give me 1 second.
Oh, maybe some of us have worked it out. No, you're always going to be racist, actually.
We're moving, we're taking care of kids, but our food quality suffers. And look, those policies kill our people. You can't get access to good health care, good insurance.
So even when you're on your path to trying to figure out how to be a better human being, because I believe that white people are born into not being human, like that actually instead of people of color and black folks being dehumanized, that actually everyone is dehumanized off rip within white supremacy.
I feel like when I think about the trauma that black men have gone through, along with the trauma that a black woman has gone through, we're able to heal each other because we know each other's pain.
That y'all are born into a life to not be human, and that's what y'all are taught to do, to be demons. So in this particular way, white people are all racist.
We know our ancestors' pain. Black men need a black woman, and black women need a black man to help us be better. And because we know each other.
I don't know this
we
part.
need each other to heal those wounds
She's
that
right.
were never really treated.
The way the system was created, when the United States was
Hold on, this
founded,
ain't the right
it was
video.
white men that got drunk and
This
made
ain't the right
nations
video.
on the backs
Damn.
of slaves.
My bad, people. This is not the right video. Let me find the right one. Hold on.
This man just had us watch a whole.
All right, let's get back to the conversation. I'll find it. It's
Pity
funny.
black men.
You went left real quick.
No, it would have matched, but yeah, it's all good. Anyway.
All right, so we had 3 topics. We're missing one.
No, we did all 3.
No. We're missing one.
I guarantee you we did all 3.
I'm about to refer to the videotape.
We did Trouble.
We did Trouble.
We did
Lori Harvey and the root of the problem.
So that
the
sounds
root
like
of the problem.
Does that mean it's time for final thoughts?
If we don't have any calls,
I don't think we got no calls today.
we can get to the final thoughts.
Play Moesha.
I don't.
Oh, wrong sound.
Oh, you don't even know the fucking board yourself.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's about that time we get to our final thoughts. We're going to start with Kirk Keys.
Oh, I thought I already get that joint. I was about to read my diary. Dear diary, it is not Lori Harvey's fault, even though Tripp says so.
Thank you for your service.
Nah, but on some real, celebrities be dating. Don't do what celebrities do, cause you ain't a celebrity.
So we shouldn't date.
Motherfucker.
Gotcha, bitch.
Nah, you should date. Just don't set your dating life based off of Lori Harvey, cause your stepfather ain't Steve Harvey.
Facts.
So you ain't got that money to fall back on. You're not dating Michael B. Jordan, so you ain't got that money to fall back on. Better just focus on yourself, Queens.
They dating Michael B. Jordan.
If you date Michael B. Jordan, make sure he ain't beating on you, and make sure he don't kill Trouble. And if you're dating somebody who's dating Michael B. Jordan, don't go do what Trouble did.
That's a fact.
Those are my final thoughts. Like, nah, but now on some real, I don't have all the answers for how black women should move, but that was a very telling tape from the 80s that I think is interesting because A, I didn't know it existed. B, I knew welfare was a thing back then, and I knew women were on it heavy, and I knew that they were pitching it to women to be on it, minus the men in the home, so that you can get a little extra money. And a lot of women went for that. And if you didn't believe it based on the stories that you heard, if you believed it a little bit but didn't know like the repercussions of it, or how mesmerized or rose-colored glasses it might have seemed back to the women in that day, that video kind of was telling. It kind of showed you. And so we gotta make better decisions. We gotta understand that the people who are leading us in this current day might have been misled in previous days, and then we gotta recognize when we are being misled by the same people who have continuously misled our people time and time again. So when we were at that point earlier, when I said I like where we going, as we were like kind of drifting down this hill, that's where I thought we were about to go, and we kind of didn't because we got distracted. But It's all about recognizing when people have been bamboozled, which we just saw in that 86 video. And then trying to identify how could they be still trying to bamboozle us, because if we've been getting bamboozled for over 400 years, why would we think that they're going to stop now?
It's a fact.
That's just foolish. So, don't be trouble and stay out of trouble. Those are my final thoughts.
Digital.
Hey, first of all, shout out to everybody who tuned in this week, man.
I forgot
everybody on live, everybody on the YouTube and made comments. The show is growing, and it's growing because of you guys, man. The feedback has been amazing.
That nigga.
It's growing because of you.
I'm sorry.
He couldn't resist.
I'm immature.
He apparently has cockadoodles on the brain. There's nothing I can do to help that. On the brain.
That's a new one.
But anyway, shout out to everybody who tuned in, supports the show, shares our episodes, gives feedback. We do this for y'all, man. These conversations are to push the culture forward, to give us as black people, us as people in diaspora, us as people who participate in our culture, the ability to have dialogue, have disagreements, have information to move forward and better your lives. So you participating helps us greatly. So keep participating. So let's address the main overarching topic for the day. Should black men move on from black women to get cooperation? I think some black men need to hedge their bets. There is forces against you that you probably don't understand. Like the media has been against you, the government has been against you, the prison industrial complex has been against you for so long. You don't understand how many powerful forces are against you that are turning your women against you and putting you in positions where you can't connect with your women. So we've gotten to a critical mass point that certain black men may have to date outside of their race to find peace, structure, and what they want in their household. I personally think we need to do the work to heal our community, like really discuss why we got into the place that we got into, right? One of the reasons why I love to do this show, because we're independent media. We're able to give our own opinions, own information, own things to educate our population and to let them know the wool is being pulled over your eyes, ladies. They're telling you that you're the best. You can do it on your own. You can be a single mother. You can do all these things. Meanwhile, the people who are profiting and making money off of you, their marriage rate in their community is in the 90th percentile. Most of them are getting married. Even if they don't even want to get married, they making their people get married because they understand it's how important having a community, two incomes, stable household is. And they'll turn around and put us on their television shows, their networks, their music, and they promote the worst of our society. That's not on accident. That's on purpose. So understand you don't have control of your image and your narrative. That's why this show is important, that we can show you who you are, where we are in a real light, so then you can make the best decision for your family. Because ultimately, every black man isn't going to end up with a black woman, and that's okay. But black women, if you don't want to continue to be left behind, you have to understand what your man is seeking, what he needs, and he wants to get out in this world to fight for you, to build the black family, to build the black race, to build up our community. If you're not tapped into what that is, this conversation is going to go way over your head. Comes to Lori Harvey, Michael B. Jordan. Ladies, I love how y'all cape and ride for y'all celebrity females, right? That live the lives that you think you want to live, or the lives you think you should live. Right? Some of it's luck, right? She was lucky enough to be born in a famous family. She's lucky enough to have the resources and platform to build off, and to raise her status. But it's also about proximity. Her parents are famous. Her parents are rich. So guess what she's been around her whole life? Rich and famous people. She's not dating Johnny that work at the gas station. She's not dating Mo that works at H&M. She's never gonna date a regular guy because she's been around rich and famous people her whole life. So you comparing her life, or you trying to compare yourself to her standard, that's a 0.1% lifestyle that most of y'all will never attain. So please do not look to her as an example of she's just living her life. I saw so many comments on a post I made this week of women saying she's young. She has plenty of time to figure it out. She has plenty of time to do these things. No, she doesn't.
She does not.
No, she doesn't. If we claim that we're trying to build the community back to when it was the strongest and most powerful, we were getting married between 23 and 26. We were having children. We were buying houses. We were establishing a community.
Like the guy said on the video earlier, 3 out of 4 black Americans were married.
So if we are starting to promote and advocate women just funning it up, other cultures understand that's not the way to wealth and prosperity. And while they promote that in our community, they are not living that standard in real life.
Gotcha, bitch.
Ladies, don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe. That's my final thoughts.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a monumental episode. I cannot believe that we all three got along and had the same perspectives. Hey, scoot over a little bit for me, bro. Shit, got a little room. But yeah, we all three had the same perspectives for the most part. Got through the show, and that just goes to show you. And ladies, take heed. Black men are not on that bullshit no more. And so I'll do this real quick. Lori Harvey, Michael B. Jordan. They can do what they want. They're celebrities. She's a young woman. She can do whatever she wants. Right? Do I think she's making a mistake? Yes. But the rest of you hoes say she's not. Y'all win. Y'all win. When it comes to trouble, death by simp, fucking with ratchets. Y'all say she's not a ratchet. If she's a ratchet, the same bitch Kevin Samuels was a ratchet. Okay, y'all right. You win. You're right. To the topic of the night. Should black men, what's the topic? Should black men move on?
Should they move on?
Or look elsewhere for cooperation?
Should they look elsewhere for cooperation in their household,
right?
Running their own program,
So I'll say this. 80% of black households are led by single women. And this is not to shit on single women, but the results of single mother households are pathetic. And when I say pathetic, I mean in all areas of life that matter. If you look at the Pew Research Center, it's struggling, whatever you want to call it. Now, there is a 15 to 20% that don't come out of that situation. But you got to think 5 to 8% of them are influenced by the majority. So that leaves you with 5 to 7% of our women that aren't influenced by nonsense. So can it be done? Yes. I believe I've done it. Now, I could be made a fool of some odd years down the line, and I'm willing to accept that.
Nah, you good. You be all right.
Of course I am, but I have to say that because I'm not perfect and I'm not trying to portray that I am. But what I'm telling y'all niggas is, if you want to look for a needle in a haystack, continue your search. But what I'm telling you is what I can see at this point. Our women are not willing, in large, because some of them are, but in large, our women are not willing to be accountable or hold other women accountable. And that's why I'm at Dick's Sporting Goods. Pause.
Gotcha, bitch.
Can't find the button.
That nigga gay.
I ain't found it. But anyway, I'm at the sporting goods places, models, all that shit. I'm looking for good life vests. If you can show me where a good life vest is, get me one so I can jump off this goddamn boat. Because it's going the fuck down. From what I've seen, now, let me take my glasses off, man. From what I've seen.
I thought they was real glasses. Them personality glasses.
They are. From what I've seen from the past month out of black woman has fucking disgusted me. And it starts with the way y'all did my man KS when he died. Y'all some pathetic motherfucking hoes.
Thank you for your service.
Wrong button, but I guess it was on point. Y'all pathetic as shit. This nigga came out telling y'all the truth.
And the truth could have set you free.
The truth could have set you motherfuckers free. But what did y'all do? Y'all wished him dead. Y'all was glad he died. Here we go a month later. A nigga who y'all claimed didn't like y'all went and tried to marry y'all favorite hoe. Woo. And what did you do to him? Called him a fool.
Crucified.
Fellas, don't play the game no more. Because they not going to learn until they see all the rest of the women married up, which is pretty much right now. They just ain't paying attention. Because they think they on some intersectionality train that don't even include them. But that's a whole other fucking show. Fellas, let them go. When they start talking about getting white boys, let them go. Go get you a fat boy, white boy with good credit and no money.
Treat your women like your weed. Get you some Zod.
Go. Please go. You guys glorify sex more than men do at this point.
I can't imagine if my final thoughts was this long.
You guys glorify sex more than men do. So as black men, right? Because everybody else is laughing, right? We the only ones not laughing because we like, yo, baby, they laughing at you. But y'all think y'all got delusions of grandeur. Every other ethnic group is laughing. So look, black men, I'm not telling you not to fuck with black women no more. Do it. Right? You might slip up and find a good one, just like I did, just like Cohen did, just like Kirk did. Damn, he laughed. I don't know what that's about. You might slip up.
You threw him a lifeline. You threw that motherfucker right back.
But my advice to black men these days.
Get out of here.
My advice to black men these days, and this is my advice to black men these days, especially Gen Z and the younger generations coming up. If they want to act like fools and they want to be out in the street until they're 35 and they want to slaughter, fuck that. Use them hoes for practice. We talking about practice. Use them for practice. Shout out to my man, Mr. Jap. Use them for practice.
Not the game.
Use them for practice.
Not the game. We talking practice.
But if you want cooperation, go somewhere else. because they ain't cooperating. And they showing you that shit every day. I'm out here arguing with them every day, trying to get them to see logic. And all they want to do is be right about something that ain't even worth being right about. I bring up, hey, this chick is ratchet. Oh, what about Kevin Samuels? What? Huh? He's dead. What are we talking about? Black men, use them for practice. That's this episode of Straight Talk No Chase. For myself, Cosby Digital, and Kirk Keys.
R.I.P. my man Trouble, man.
R.I.P. Trouble. Stay out of trouble. Stop sleeping at these hoes' houses. I mean, we've all done it, and we've all left out the next day like, damn, shit.
We dodged the bullet.
I dodged the bullet.
And unfortunately, he did not dodge the bullet.
Not only should you not sleep at their house, take the condom with your ass.
Yeah.
Especially if you make $65,000 or more.
Hey, my brothers, stay on guard. Stay on guard.
Gas is $6 a gallon. They are sticking them rubbers up their coochie. That's one thing I respect about these hoes. By any means necessary. She thinking about future gas. Let me get that. Oh, shit. I don't care if you bring a McDonald's. That's an extra 6 gallons of gas a month I can get on child support.
Hey, fellas. Nah, that's real talk. The ratchet P right now is not worth it, man.
It ain't.
Protect your peace.
So shout out to the real black women though. Shout out to the pick-me's. Any chick they call a pick-me, pick her. Cause she got some goddamn sense. The rest of them, they just practice. Like I said, we out of here. Shout out to Moesha.
Practice.